constructing histograms with a graphics calculator. So we've got a set of numerical data which we have put into a frequency table. And it's quite easy to get the data into your graphics calculator and use it to display the histogram. It might just be to check your histogram, or it might be later for calculating the mean, median, mode, and range. So it's a good idea to make sure that we can do this. I've printed out the instructions for you, but we'll also write them down as we go. So we've got to get the data in, and it's a good idea to clear the memory or to clear data as you go. So I'm not going to clear my memory because I'll show you where you need to clear the data, but it's easier just to do the full memory clear. So when we're clearing the data, go to y equals, and if there's any lines in here, clear them. Then we are going to enter our data, go stat, go to edit, and obviously if there's any data in here, we clear it. And the quickest way is to move up to highlight the column, clear, and hit enter. Highlight column 1, clear, and enter. So we'll just put clear any data. Then, in your L1 column, you enter the score column for your frequency table. Which is, of course, the X column of our frequency table. So your scores are heading down here. And then in your L2 column, you enter the frequency. Sorry about the noise outside. Not sure if you can hear it. So the frequency gets entered down here. So effectively you've turned this into a frequency table. Check that both your columns are the same and quit out of there. So you've cleared everything else, you've entered your data, and you just need to display it. We're going to use stat plots, and the first thing we'll have to do is turn the stat plots on. So second stat plot, select plot 1, highlight on, and hit enter. Then we need to choose the appropriate plot, and you'll see we're on to histogram. Mine's already selected there, but if it's not, move to the third option, the histogram. Like that. Oops, I'm running out of space for you. And select the histogram and press enter. If it wasn't already selected, that will bring up the X list and frequency. So just to show you, don't do this, but just to show you what would be different, if I'd selected a dot plot, I'd have X list and Y list. So when you move to the histogram to select that, it says, okay, what's your X list and what's your frequency? If this isn't showing as L1, make it L1. If this isn't showing as L2, make it L2. L1 and L2 are down here above 1 and 2, so second L1 and second L2. So X list, L1, frequency, L2. So once you've got that entered, quit out of it, and to see it, our old friend zoom 9. And there is the histogram. Now if it's not all showing, because I should have quite a few more columns than that from the looks of it. So check that it's all showing. If it's not, you go into window, and our X min of 12, our X max, X scale of 1, see how that goes. A little bit better there, getting that all displayed. So you can play around with the window, but usually just zoom 9 is going to get that for you. It's messed with the window again. Make sure your X min and X max are sufficient for showing this. Make sure your frequency, your Y max is enough, but usually reset those scales and the Y min to 0 and graph. Now, incidentally, when we've got our data in this sort of thing, later I'll teach you how to work through here and calculate the mean here, the standard deviation, the number of scores, the quartiles, the median, all sorts of useful stuff. So it's useful to make sure that you can get your data in here, because this will be helpful later on.